Hey everybody, welcome to Downward Dog Rising. My name is Traci, and tonight I'm going to bring you some yoga asanas to help release tight hips. So if you're a runner or a cyclist, exercise enthusiast, or if you do martial arts, then you might want to join me just so you can release tight hips, because it always feels good to release them. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to start off in a plank position so we can wake up our core, and then we'll slowly move into some lunge positions. Okay, so let's start. Hands and knees. Let's just go right into a little cat-cow, okay? We're going to warm up our spine. So I want you to just feel like your front ribs meet your back ribs, and then from there, drop your chin down, drop your tailbone down. On a deep exhalation, you're going to draw your core tight to your back. And then inhale, work on lengthening, maximal extension of your spine. So you're going to exhale, tighten your core in. Inhale, stretch away. Exhale, round your back, tailbone long. Inhale, head away from tailbone. 3 more. And exhale. Inhale for elongation. Exhale, scoop in. 2 more. Stretch apart, elongate. Last one. Exhale. Now inhale. Front ribs meet back ribs. Spine is long. Take one hand behind head and neck. Now, inhale to the side of your rib cage. Open those ribs apart. Exhale, return. Inhale, sides of ribs expand. Exhale, return. Inhale, really expand into the sides of those ribs. Return. 2 more. Breathing in. Exhale. Last one. Breathing in. Exhale. Hand to mat. Other hand behind head and neck. Okay, now you're going to breathe into the other side. Go the other way. Inhale, expansion. Exhale, release. Inhale, let those ribs open apart. Exhale, release. 3 more. Breathing in, openness. Exhale, release. 2 more times. You're going to breathe in. And then exhale, release. 1 more time. You're going to breathe in. And then exhale, release. All right. Next, you have your hands under your shoulders. Your feet are under your hips. Now from here, I want you to float up and just hold. Keep the low back lengthened. Tighten your abdominals to your back. Little knee hover. Use your core. Pull those hip bones straight across in front. Activate that transversus abdominis. Gently, you're going to lower down. Now you're going to turn to your side. And I want you to feel like you can really get your bottom obliques to pull and wrap around you. And then from here, you're going to just stack your ankles. I want you to stack your knees. And then I'm going to have you just rise up and hold it here. You're just going to breathe in, breathe out. Keep lifting your bottom rib up. Keep chest open, shoulders down, away from your ears. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Let the breath flow. Stay here. And 5, and 4, and 3, and 2. Come down. Extend your bottom arm. Line up shoulder, elbow, wrist. Now you're going to extend your bottom leg straight out. Take your top ankle directly over the bottom. And then whoop, You gotta get the right alignment or else you'll fall like I almost just did. Now lift those bottom ribs up and hold it here. Maybe you'll reach your arm overhead. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Open up the side body, sides of waist, lengthen apart. Ribs lengthen apart. Stay here and breathe. Peaceful, just breathe. Strengthen your core. And 5, and 4, and 3, 2. Come on in. Cross your ankles in front. We're going to go to the other side in a second. Hands come up. Come down to one side. Open your side. Keep both hips grounded, centered into your mat. Really get that stretch under your armpit into your upper ribs. Open that side line. Create space in your spine. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Relax those knees. Breathe out. Really get those ribs to open apart. One more deep inhale. Rise up. Root down. Rise up. Other side. Root down to the bottom of your pelvis and stay here. Open those ribs apart. And breathe in. Breathe out. Open those ribs. Breathing in. Really get that lateral rib cage expansion. Breathe out. Just going with the flow. Breathing in. Breathing out. One more deep inhale here. Breathing in. And breathing out. Lengthen. Root down. Rise up. Stack your ankles. Stack your knees. You're going to take your elbow directly under your shoulder, making sure that you don't collapse. You don't want to have the neck bunch up. You don't want the shoulders to scrunch in. And ideally, you don't want your ribs to collapse. Align both halves of your rib cage so they're facing forward. Now from here, think of wrapping from the bottom of those ribs. Now rise up, stay forward, lift those bottom ribs, keep chest open. Stay here and breathe. Breathing in, breathing out, chest is open, lift those bottom ribs, get that bottom hip to come up. Breathing in, breathing out. Expand those ribs. Create space in your spine. Stay here and breathe. Really lift those bottom ribs, bottom hip, lift away from the mat. Breathing in, breathing out. Tighten abdominal wall in. One more deep inhale. And gently come into your mat. Next, what I want you to do, you're going to take your legs straight out. I want you to stack your ankles. And again, those bottom ribs really pull together. They lift, they wrap. Stay centered. Collarbones open wide. Your knees are stacked, your ankles are stacked, but then you're just going to float straight up and hold it here. Breathe in. Breathe out. I actually forget, did I do this? Nope, I'm right. I couldn't remember if I extended the arm. We're going to stay right here. Breathe in, lift those bottom ribs, breathe out. Chest is open, shoulders out of ears. Breathe in, breathe out. Keep the length. Breathe in, those bottom ribs lift, keep the hips aligned, shoulders over hips. Use those obliques. Shoulders out of ears, bottom hip lifts up. Stay here. Relax into it. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more deep inhale. And gently lower down. Good job. Okay. We're going to turn. We're going to come up to our hands and our knees. And then what I want you to do here, curl the toes underneath so you have something, a little support to stand on. Let's see if I can move something out of the way a little bit. Not sure. Yep, got that out of the way. Just notice that. Okay. From here, your abdominal wall pulls tight to your back. You're going to push into the balls of your feet. Come into a downward dog. Maybe you'll lift the heels up and then gently release them down. Go super slow. Allow your body to settle into it. Feel like you're being stretched two different directions. Lengthen through your spine, down through the arms. Lengthen through your spine, down through the pelvis, down through the legs. Scoop your core to your back. Let those blades fall gently down the back. 4 and 3. 2 more. Awesome. Okay, from here, I want you to take one leg into three-legged dog. Fold the knee in. Now from here, you're going to do a little rotation. Open up the whole side for a moment. Maybe look under the armpit. Stack your hips, one over the other. Return back to the center. Now take a step forward and through the two hands and come into a low lunge. Extend your back leg out. So I just want you to hold it here for a moment. Come up into your pyramid. Your hips are straight. Come back in. Extend that back leg. Come up into your pyramid. Legs are straight, hips are squared. One more. Last one, pyramid. Hips are squared. Come back into your lunge. Okay, now from your lunge, I'm going to introduce to you dragon pose. And basically, I just want you to hold it here for a second for your pelvis to settle, your hips to release, and then we're going to do dragon lying low. We're going to drop our back knee. Maybe you'll take your foot like that, set it into the mat. Lift your chest up off the front of your thigh, and just stay here and breathe. Breathing in and breathing out. Take hands back to the mat, float your back knee up. Now, walk your foot a little bit to the side. Take your hands to the inside of your ankle, and then we're going to drop our back knee again. Place the top of your foot into the mat, and then we're going to do a low dragon. Again, a little lower. Breathing in and breathing out. Keep spine stretching long. Breathing in, breathing out. Just go inward. Meet yourself halfway, go inward. Feel all the sensations of your body. Let's go into twisted dragon. Slowly lengthen your sternum, your breastbone. Bend your top arm, gently place a little higher than your knee joint. And we're just going to stay here for a couple breath cycles, breathing in. So you're twisting through center of spine, thoracic spine, mid-back, opening your collarbone wide, shoulder out of ear. And just stay in your twisted dragon for a moment. Couple breath cycles here. Getting our mid-back to release. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Feel those ribs expand laterally. Soften. Slowly, we're going to untwist our spine, bring our hands to the inside of the ankle, curl the toes of our back foot, lift up the knee, come back into a lunge, come down into low lunge, Anjaneyasana, float up, stretch hips forward for a moment, breathing in, lengthen your spine, breathing out. Feel that psoas stretch, feel those hips release, scoop in. Gently, we're going to come back down. Now we're going to go into wing dragon. We're going to walk our front foot to the edge of our mat, and we're going to slowly start to rotate up to the lateral pinky toe side of our foot. You could either lift up your back knee, keep your hands on the inside of your ankle, and just stay here. If it's within your practice, you could take that back knee down, and you could gently come forward onto your forearms and stay here. Wing dragon. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Meet your edge, meet that wall. Come close to it, greet it, meet it. Let's do one more deep inhale here. Slowly make your way back up to your hands extended, arms extended. Take that back foot, lift up the knee. Walk your foot in between the two hands here. And then we're just going to take it straight out into our plank. Your abdominal wall deepens to your back. Hold it here. Scoop your core tight. Your front ribs meet your back ribs. Keep lengthening spine, tailbone long. Scoop core tight. And 5, and 4, and 3, 2. Go back into your downward dog. Gently, you're going to walk your dog. One heel up and one heel down. Stretch apart. Four, and 3, and 2. Slowly, you're going to take your left foot, left toe, left big toe next to right thumb. Drop that left knee by your left thumb. You might have to lift, resituate your hips so they're straight ahead. Now we're going to come into our swan. Your back knee points directly straight to the mat. Our hip bones are going to be facing directly forward. So you want to, as best as you can, get your 2 hip points to face straight ahead. Back foot is on the mat. Back kneecap faces down. You want the middle of that thigh to be directly on the mat. Rise up. Lengthen your spine. You could either stay here, see what feels good to you. Just trying to get through many layers, going deep into our hips. So you could stay at this variation. If you want, you can come down to your forearms. Keep spine reaching long. Maybe, if it feels right, you can stack, make a fist, make another fist, and then just let your forehead rest on your hands. Or you can have your hands flat, rest your forehead on the backs of your hands. See what suits you. Stretch breastbone long so you don't round your middle back, and stay here and breathe. Settle into the pose, greet it, acknowledge it, accept the challenge, go inward. Soften, receive. This is not like restorative yoga, this is work. Restorative, we're totally supported. We don't have to work, we just rest and release, relax into the pose. Here, we're actively searching for our edge. Going to that furthest point, we hold it and we breathe into it. Bypassing our muscles, going deep into our fascia. Thereby, we can create hyaluronic acid, which is very therapeutic and beneficial for our deep tissues and our joints, for lasting changes. Settle into the pose. If you're down all the way, maybe you'll take this opportunity to come up to your forearms. If you're on your forearms, maybe you'll take this opportunity to come up to your hands. Just take one more deep inhale here. Now from here, we're gonna lean into that left hip, extend our right leg straight out, keep the left leg as it is, where it is. We're gonna go into half butterfly next. So you're just gonna keep that sole bottom of your foot either to your inner thigh, your groin. You're gonna sink into the bottom of your pelvis. Your kneecap faces up, your heels on the mat, your toes can flex, foot flexes for a deeper stretch. And then we're gonna lengthen our arms over our head. Take your sternum, your breastbone, draw it to the center of your femur bone, your thigh, rising up. And you're gonna hip hinge forward over your leg. Maybe reach for your knee, your shin, your ankle. Keep your spine long, and you're just gonna keep reaching over your leg. Stay centered. Little half butterfly. Flex your foot. Breastbone over center of thigh. Hip hinge. Avoid bending from your spine, so just hinging over that leg from the hip. If you had osteoporosis, you're going to limit how far you flex. You're going to hinge just lightly like that. Just think of really stretching your sternum to the sky. So you could actually still do this, just modify. You wouldn't go as far to protect your hips and your spine. Maybe you'll grab your foot. Arms reach long. Hinge from the hip. Settle into it. Going inward. Just let go of any tension, any resistance that you have. Just release it with each exhalation you take. Soften into it even more. Release. One more deep inhale here. Slowly you're going to walk up. Take the knee. Lift your knee straight up into the air. Press into the heel of the leg that's stretched out on the ground. And then basically, what I want you to do here, you're going to press, you're going to spread your fingers apart. We're going to go into a slight little back bend. You're going to take palm to the ground, and I just want you to think of your straight leg side. You're going to lift up your breastbone, and I want you to rise up into a back bend. You're going to lift your pelvis up in the air, and you're going to lengthen, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. What I want you to do, lift this arm up. Something doesn't feel right, so I switch sides inadvertently. Take your straight arm, straight leg, arm side down, and I want you to come up this way. So it's the opposite arm and leg pulling apart, up in the air. Yep, that's what I want, to lift up your breastbone, open your heart. Little back bend. Little flip dog, back bend, lift up, come back in. Now from here, I'm going to have you float legs up, and then I'm going to have you stretch the legs long, and then walk your hands to the tops of your thighs, roll back down, hands behind head and neck, draw the knees in. And then from here, chest is open. We're going to do a little crisscross from Pilates. Chest is open, deep inhale. Exhale. Use the breath as a pumping mechanism. Get all the air out of the lungs. Breathing in, chest is open. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Point your toes. Breathing in. Hips to sky, straight line. Avoid losing pelvic stability. Keep hips stable, hips to sky. And 6, crisscross, chest is open. You're rotating around your central axis point, your breastbone. 5, 4, reach all the way out of your center. 3, 2, last set. Come in. Gently reach under the knees. Rock side to side. We're going to do a little transition. Extend the legs. Reach the arms over your head. Breathe in. Breathe out. Spine is long. Breathe in. Draw your abdominal wall into the length of your spine. Feel the low back release into the mat. One more deep inhalation. Softly, gently feel your body sink deeper into your mat. Turn to one side. Come all the way over. come up into Sphinx. So the tops of your feet are going to be on the mat. Avoid sinking, avoid collapsing. Bring your elbows so that they're directly right under your shoulders. Be actively working. Dome the abdominal wall up off mat into the low back area. Pull your sternum, your breastbone forward and through the two arms. You're going to tilt chin a little bit forward so back and neck stays long. And stay here. Spread your fingers wide. Scoop into your center. Relax those tops of your feet into the mat. Let's strengthen our back. Sphinx. Create length in your spine, especially if you sit working on the computer during the day. We want to counter that with our shoulders and our chest by opening everything up. We want to strengthen our back. When we do little back bends, it opens up the front of our spine, so that's what we want. Breathing in, breathing out. Feel those muscles working, starting to fatigue. Just going to push yourself a little bit to our edge. You can either stay here. If you want to give yourself a little deeper challenge, a little bit more of a challenge, you're going to slowly extend the arms out, and I want you to lift into a seal. Relax tops of shoulders out of ears. Make sure you feel the neck is long, your abdominals scoop in, and just stay here for a little bit. Your elbows are going to point towards the floor so that your triceps are active, your upper middle back is active, your abdominals pull in. Think of your pubic bone just really grounded down into the mat. You lift all the way up to your navel, and then even beyond that, you're lifting all the way up to your breastbone, lengthening. Keep on lifting all the way up to the top crown of your head. Strengthen your back, create space and length. Lengthening our spine, releasing our tight hips. It's all going to help your back health. Let's take another deep inhale here. Softly, you're going to lower down. Take your hands under your shoulders. Draw your elbows close. Deep inhale, deep exhale. Push up to hands and knees. After you push up to your hands and your knees, go ahead back into a rest pose. Either tops of feet are on the mat. If you want more knee support, have the toes resting under you. Sit back. Pull your breastbone forward between the arms. Stretch your sits bones behind your body. Pull your low back into two different directions. Create length. And now lumbo-dorsal fascia, pull apart. Reach from the armpits to the palms. Maybe lift up, reach through fingertips. Feel that stretch under the armpits, the backs of your shoulders, your upper mid-back. Pull your breastbone, sternum forward. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. Stay here. Feel sides of waist stretch longer. Two more deep inhales here. One more time. Slowly you're going to walk your hands in. Let's take it back into our downward dog. We're gonna go into our hip releases, other side. Scoop your core tight. Lift up the knees, press the hips back, stretch those hamstrings long. We're gonna walk out the dog a little bit. And 7, move the hips if it feels right. And 6, and 5, and 4. Get those ribs to really open up. And 3, and 2. Now from here, take your left leg, not our left leg, I should say right leg. 3-legged dog, extend the leg long. Really stretch it away from you. Bend the knee, stack your right hip over the left. Draw that heel towards your glute. Open up your side, hips stack. Shoulders stay grounded towards the mat. Your hips stack one over the other. Feel that stretch in there. Return so your hips are straight to the mat. Take a step with your right foot in between the 2 hands. Now you're in your Anjaneyasana. You're in your lunge. Just gonna hold it here for a second. Breathing in and breathing out. Then we're gonna go into a pyramid. You're just gonna extend, pull that hip back, straight leg side, pull that hip back, align your pelvis. Inhale, maybe your foot lifts off the mat. And you're gonna go back into your Anjaneyasana, your lunge, extend that back leg, chest is lifted. And again, shift back into your pyramid. Scoop your core tight, hip hinge, avoid bending from the spine. And gently come back in, chest lifts off that front thigh. Back into your pyramid. Pull that breastbone long over the thigh, over the leg. Last set, come into your lunge. Extend. And gently lower down into your lunge. And we're gonna do our dragon, our high dragon, flying high, just holding on to our lunge. Feel that back quad and hip release. Now maybe we'll take our back knee down. The top of your foot's gonna rest on the mat. So we're just gonna go into our low dragon. And then what I want you to do here, your hands are on each side of your front foot. You're gonna take your hands to the inside of your foot. And we're gonna stay here and breathe. Hip points, face straight forward, chest is lifted. Breathing in. If you want to experiment, you can lift up that back leg again. Drop that leg. We're going to come down a little lower into our low dragon. We're going to come down to our forearms. Keep stretching breastbone long. Get those hips to release. Dragon flying low. Breastbone long. Scoop core into back. We're going to do a little variation to create some space in our spine. Let's go into our twisted dragon. You can keep your forearm down on the mat, the hand closest to the bent knee side. Lift that hand a little higher than the knee. Drop your shoulder out of your ear. Open your chest wide, collarbones wide. Just look up over that shoulder. That's comfortable for the neck. And we're going to do a little twisted dragon to create a little bit of mobility through our thoracic spine, our middle back. And stay here and breathe. Breathing in. Breathing out. Settle into the pose. Mobility for our spine and for our hip opener. Let's take one more deep inhale here. From our twisted dragon, we're going to come back center. Your hands are going to come to the inside of your ankle. Now start to walk your front foot out to the side a little bit more. Now you're going to roll on to the outer edge of your pinky toe side of your foot. Little pinky toe, roll out. Now we're going to do our wing dragon, going a little deeper into that hip, going into our external rotators, a little deeper. Maybe you're going to stay here. Maybe you'll lift up your back foot. Really going deep into the hip flexor. If you decide to come down, drop the back foot. You can even come forward onto your forearms. So you're just on that lateral pinky toe side of your foot after you walked your foot laterally to outer edge of your mat. Keep lengthening your spine. Stay here and breathe. Meet your edge. Being the best you can be just by going inward and seeing what you're capable of. No judgment. Spine is long, breastbone long, avoid rounding back. Spine reaching long. Take one more deep inhale. Slowly you're going to press, extend the arms long, press your palms. Slowly you're going to take your top, your front leg, in between the two hands, lift up your back leg. So you're going back into your lunge. Maybe you'll drop that back foot down for a moment. Lengthen your spine, coming up, breathing in. And gently release. Good job. Now from here, walk your foot through. Gently walk your toes underneath you. We're going to press up and do another downward dog, lengthening up. And just really pull your breastbone forward and through. Maybe stretch those heels towards mat. See how your hips feel. Little release. Gently stretch apart. Pull your breastbone forward through the two arms. Feel how those arm bones externally go deeper down into the glenoid fossa, your shoulder joint. Stretch apart. Inhale, exhale. Breathing in and breathing out. One more deep inhale here. We're going to take our right knee. You're going to walk your right kneecap towards your right thumb. Then you're going to take the right big toe right next to the left thumb. So you just walked in. You might have to lift up your pelvis to reset. Make sure your hips are straight. Let's do swan on this side. So you're going to lift up your back foot. Make sure your pelvis is even. Hips are facing straight ahead. This back leg, your kneecap points down. You're going to stretch spine long. Lift and lengthen so that back knee points to the floor, that top of the foot's down. And just stay here. Breathe. In your swan. So we want this front thigh to laterally rotate outward. Give that hip a chance to release. If If this feels good to you, you can stay here in your swan. If you want to take it a little deeper, you can come down a little lower into sleeping swan. So we can come down to our forearms, if that feels comfortable. So if you're on your forearms, it's going to take some of the pressure out of your hips and pelvis, because some of the weight's going to be distributed through your shoulder girdle and your upper body. So if your hips are super tight, you might want to come up to here so it's not all going down into the pelvis and into your hips. Relax those shoulders. Keep the spine reaching long. Maybe you'll make a fist with each hand. Maybe you'll just rest your forehead on those hands. You could even flatten out the hands and rest your forehead on the backs of your palm, of the backs of the hands. And stay here and breathe. Settle into your pose, going inward. Head lengthens away from tailbone. Feel those side of your hip, glute muscles stretch. Piriformis, lateral rotators. Gonna get into that glute medius a little bit. You have 3 glutes. Some of those glutes, some can get more tighter than others. Feel sides open as you breathe into sides and back of rib cage. Feel ribs expand as you take really deep inhales, fully inflating your lungs. Getting the air into the lower lobes of your lungs. Breathing in and breathing out. That's what stretches the spine longer. The breath. Breath is key. Breath is vitality for life. An experiment. Rest your forehead on back of hands. Go deeper if your body calls you to go deeper. Head lengthens away from tailbone. Hips are releasing tension. You're all the way down in sleeping swan. Maybe you'll prop up on your elbows, coming up for a little different experience. If you're propped up on elbows, maybe you'll come up to here. Just take another breath or two here. One more deep inhale. And exhale. All right. We're going to keep our bent knee bent. We're going to swing the other leg around, extend it straight out in front of us. We're going to do half butterfly. We're going to keep this side bent. Take sole of foot to groin, inner thigh. Your kneecap faces straight to ceiling. You could flex your toes to sky for a deeper stretch along the back of your leg. Your heel touches the mat. You're going to root down to the bottom of your pelvis, so those sits bones, and then I want you to think of just lifting all the way up to the top of your spine, to the crown chakra. You're going to take your breastbone straight over the middle of your femur bone, middle of your thigh, and then you're just going to stretch. My candle went out. Oh no. You're going to stretch, but I have a light, so I'm cool. I have my light in the background. We're going to lift and lengthen up. You're going to hip hinge, maybe reach for your shin, maybe reach for your ankle, whoever's comfortable. Sternum is over center of thigh. Keep your alignment, keep stretching, careful not to round here. And if you have any herniated disc or osteoporosis, you could still do the stretch, but you're not going to like push yourself to the extreme. You're going to create the length between the ribs and the hips. Keep your breastbone lifted, and you could stay here and breathe right about here. This will be safe for your hip and your spine. So stay there if you have herniated disc, osteoporosis. Otherwise, you can push a little deeper to your edge. Maybe grab your foot, pull your sternum, breastbone through, hip hinge, and breathe. Stretch spine long, avoid bending from back, hinge from the hips. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, lengthen spine, breathing out. Go a little deeper when you can. Your lateral ribs expand. Lengthen your spine with each inhale. Feel the release, go a little deeper. That's where the good stuff happens. Go past your muscles, go deep into your fascia. Nourish your joints. Slowing down so your yawn of everyday life and the hardcore workouts, cycling, running, cardio, balance it with your yin. So your joints are supported and protected. Also making your cardio workouts more efficient. Lengthen spine, go a little deeper once you feel that give. I'm going to take another deep inhale to the center of our low back. Softly walk it up. We're going to lift up our knee, plant the bottom of our foot firmly into the mat, and then we're going to do a slight little back bend for a little counter pose. So what I want you to do here, when I start from the bottom, from the ground, I can confuse myself sometimes. So let me think about which side I want to push up from. We're going to root down into our straight leg heel. And then what I want to do here, we're going to root, we're going to swing our arm, and we're going to lift up our breastbone as we push into the bottom of our right foot. Separate your fingers, press palm down. You're going to come up and really lift your breastbone, heart to sky. Open your heart to sky. Back bend, breathing in, stretch, breathing out. Breathing in, and breathing out. One more time. Open chest. And gently we're going to come back to our mat. From here, I'm going to have you hug knees in. And then what I want you to do, we're going to take one leg straight up into the air, and then I want you to take the hands and just do walking to the bottom of the thigh for climb a tree. Head lengthens away from tailbone, stretch breastbone long, scoop core tight, and you're going to slowly come back up. Lift chest, roll back down, breathing in. Walk it back up again, one more time. Peel down, breathing in and breathing out. And then we're gonna fold that leg in. Take the other leg straight up. Lift your breastbone, breathing in. Walk your hands to the back of your upper thigh. Inhale, stretch spine long. Pull your core really deep, zip up. And then you're gonna draw chin slightly towards breastbone to roll. Inhale, roll back, exhale. Collarbones stay wide. Use your core, lift back up. Peel back down. Breathing in, breathing out. We do this Pilates reformer short box. Last one, peel back. Use your core, spine is long. Inhale, exhale, roll back up. Good job. Gently gonna fold that leg in. And then we're gonna turn. We're just gonna take the bottoms of our feet together for a little Baddha Konasana. Maybe you'll float your knees up into the air and then gently release them down again. Breathing in, they lift up. Exhale, they come right back to mat. So we're never gonna push our knee joints. We're never gonna put force on our joints. Just kind of think of wringing out a sponge at the top of the hip as those thigh bones twist deeper into your hip socket. And then you'll just gently allow those knees to float. And then you can kind of bring the soles of the feet. Maybe you'll grab your big toes with your thumbs. Oh, I'm getting a cramp. Woo-hoo. I did a trail run today. I did a trail run yesterday. I did Saturday, Sunday, Wednesday. Saturday, Sunday, Wednesday. It's 1, 2, 3. Wednesday, then I did Friday, then Saturday, 4, 5. So just by touching my big toe, I almost got like a cramp all the way up the chain. So that's why I'm doing hip stuff today, because it feels really great after trail runs. So you're just lengthening up. Feeling centered, feeling calm. Maybe you'll come forward a little bit. If your hips aren't tight like mine, you might even be able to hinge from the hips and flat all the way down on the mat, and then just rest your forehead on your hands like that, or stack your fists one over the other to make it a little higher range. See what works best for you. Let those hips release. Loving the music. It's a new release from Cafe de Anatolia, so check them out. Really cool DJ, group of DJs, so check them out. Take one more deep inhale here. Slowly walk it in. You're going to close the knees together. Separate fingers, bring palms behind you, and just lightly do a little windshield wiper. Just rolling right over the crease of each hip. Get right in there across your glute, medial glutes. Lateral hip. 4 and 3 and 2. Excellent. We're just going to cross our legs into our easy pose. Recenter. Take a deep inhale here. Just feeling grateful, feeling balanced, peaceful, centered. I'm just grateful that we took this time today to take care of ourselves, to recenter, to balance our energies from the hectic everyday of Yang to doing our Yin Yoga mix. The light within me honors and acknowledges the light within you. Appreciate you so much for joining me. If you like my content, please share, like my channel, or subscribe so I can continue to grow my channel. So appreciate it. And I'll see you again soon, everyone. So peace, everybody. Take care. Meta blessings. Loving kindness to you all. Appreciate you. See you soon. Bye.